So what time is it?
It's 4:30 a.m.
Alright, 7 a.m. Hitting that spin, 7 a.m. Shit. It's 4:40 something. 4:46. We're late, but we're gonna make it. You're super talkative today, huh? This is how I prefer it. I mean, 7 a.m. you have everyone running home. And we up. And we're late. Headed into Flywheel, looks like we made it. It smells like Seattle, you said?
Spring.
Spring, interesting. And it got windy all of a sudden, but 47 minutes later. Love it. You gonna get a flat white?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Change your mind.
I feel like
Oh, yes, I have.
Nitro flat white. I don't know if the rest of the country has. It's gonna be warmer than they say today, based on that flag. I mean, there's rain on the ground. Oh, it is slightly raining. Damn. Yeah, didn't see that one coming. Walking to work. I think it's 7 a.m. right now. And again, you can probably just tell the difference. I just love it when I just knock out that workout early in the morning. So I don't have to think about it all day. And just right now, it's just all business for the next 10 plus hours, straight up. So let's see if we can make something happen today. A bunch of interesting opportunities that we're following up on. So we'll follow up. Let's see if Ken's here today. No, Ken today, and I brought him a freaking hot socket. All right, Daniel's in the office, supposedly. Let's see. Daniel Russ. Okay, this article came out right here today. Instapage, who are one of the kind of, I would say, a decent leader in the space for landing pages, raised about 15 million bucks. Again, we've been saying it kind of since day one. Landing pages and/or sites and/or microsites, or whatever you want to call them, are foundational to all marketing efforts, and it is what brings the ad sales piece and the customer together, so that you're better able to track everything from conversions to whatever, and route that into, you know, like a HubSpot or marketing automation tool. So again, congrats Instapage, and I think there'll be more of this as marketers realize that sites, landing pages, and especially at scale, are the linchpin that brings everything together. All right, it's raining, obviously. I gotta run to the bank. We switched everything over to the new company name and have just the last little bit of paperwork to sign. And so I'm gonna do that all within the next basically 15 minutes before my 10 a.m. calls start. Look at it. Look who's here. Look at that. I got one for you. Here you go.
What a thoughtful guy.
Let me get it on the...
See, you're all right, man.
Yeah, I know.
Perfect. Thank you.
I know, I got you.
Cool, man.
All right, I'll see you.
Very much, yeah.
I didn't want to be carrying that around forever, but luckily I had it in my pocket from this morning. Boom.
I feel like we're always busy, so
Yeah,
totally
all
hear you.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to hear a little bit more about DevHub.
I'm gonna give you the whole backstory too, real quick, so it'll catch you up to current. Ready? I can do. I can basically do this off of 4 martinis. So, all right, ready? So, so we raised a couple $1 million to do what it is we don't do today. Basically, in 2010, when the money was running out, we took a step back from what we were trying to build and realized that all we had was a cool way to build websites which was not a cool thing to have in 2010. But because we raised money from what I consider 7 of the greatest kind of angels / VCs between Seattle, LA, New York, and San Francisco, we just didn't want to be the guys that had to duck when someone walked into the bar that we were drinking at. So we were getting a ton of press at the time from like TechCrunch and VentureBeat, Mashable, when all those things were at their kind of peak. And kind of toward the end of 2010, we got a call from a large, what you and I would know of as like a traditional media company. So think newspaper, radio, TV, Yellow Pages. They were like, hey, we want to license your software. We'll pay you 6 figures. We'll pay you a monthly license fee. And we want to start bundling in digital products, i.e. websites, alongside of our traditional ad sales. You know, they're like, we have reps on the ground, we have all this stuff, we're going to scale really quickly. Well, basically it was a slog between 2010 and 2015 to figure out how to actually sell small business sites at a low price point and actually do the fulfillment. So in those 5 years, we innovated like absolute just nuts, like 400 or 100 and something different things we capitalized on and learned about, and we built out everything from vertical specific solutions to integrations with 44 different partners. And what happened between 2015 and today, or what's happening between 2015 and today, those people that were at those companies started moving into like the traditional agency world or working with big brands direct. And they came back to us, DevHub, and be like, yo, hey, what can you do for this national brand at the 1800 location or 1800 locations? Or we're working with this auto dealer that has, you know, these standards for inventory and whatnot. Can you integrate that into a website solution or a landing page solution? And so the last like basically 2 years till today have been, just obviously year over year growth, and awesome because now we can tell people that we do this for this blank brand and people recognize it. And, you know, a couple of our employees the other day are like, every brand that we represent is within 1 block of where I live. And I was like, that's probably the biggest compliment I've gotten, because up until this point, everyone's like, hey, can you build me a website? I'm like, I'll build you 1,000, but don't waste my time with 1, you know? And that's kind of where we are. So what we also started to do kind of more recently was like DevHub is basically this big robust technology built up over 5, 6, 7 years, right? Let's say even 10 years if you want to get really weird about it. But obviously to us, a site's a site, right? And so I always tell people like, yo, it's basically, oh, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, there you go. It's basically like this idea of like a CMS. I don't know if you can see the whiteboard. It's like a CMS and a classic drag and drop builder. But again, you're using it kind of at scale. So you're using, you know, everything that you're kind of anything, since you're using it at scale, anything that you're thinking you're doing in the site builder, you can do via API and stuff like that, right? And so, the reason why brands and their agencies pick us is because you got to think about it like, you know, obviously regions are different than, you know, maybe a super hyper local. They want to roll out a campaign that's only like maybe 2, 3 locations or people or insurance agents or dealers or whatever. And they don't want to affect everything else. Obviously, you're able to do all that kind of stuff on the platform. Permissions, right? Setting those permissions so someone at the local level maybe doesn't mess it up, or someone that really wants to go deep on the local, you can give them access. And then, of course, like our biggest thing was that we never wanted to build a company that was scared of Google. You know, so like every single update Google has done in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years has just brought us a wave of new customers every single time. Right now it's SSL, right? So anyone managing 20, 200, 2,000, 72,000, whatever it is, all the customers we have in real life are like, hey, how do we do this? How do we do this? I think the next one will be accessibility, right? Web accessibility, like in Canada, is bigger than it is here. But again, being able to change font sizes and mobile and this and that. So every one of those changes, anyone managing scale, I mean, I do think we're the only game in town, but I'm obviously someone would call me out on that. So
yeah, who are your main competitors, or who would you say are your main competitors, just for us to?
I mean, I would say like the main competitor is somebody that wants to build it from scratch, you know, or you know, like a hack together kind of WordPress play. It's probably those two. E-commerce is like, think about booking engines for cruises, car rentals, airlines, auto dealerships, real estate, where there's an inventory that can plug into, let's say, a simple landing page or a full-blown site. Those kind of verticals we've really blown out really, really well. But again, they're purchasing off of kind of that data, right? It's not like shipping a product, right?
Right.
So it's a lot different, you know. It's like, so I don't know. Do you call that e-commerce?
Yeah, to me, anything that you're selling virtually
Yeah.
or physically.
Yeah, I would say anything virtual, we crush it. Anything physical, we can crush it, but we don't have any customers that are doing that necessarily today.
Right.
You know.
So both of us come from Volusion.
I mean, one of the bigger takeaways from us is obviously too, is that you know, the whole platform is private label too, right? So like we're sitting behind in 95% of our 67 plus key accounts right now. We are sitting behind an agency, right? And in front of, you know, and then it's the brand, right? So, and then in 5% we have direct deals, but typically it's with an agency. So we'll start with an agency that works with, let's say, UPS. That's super successful. They're like, yo, we also represent these 20 brands. Let's start off, you know, and it's versus one-off deals with brand direct. So we do like the agency route, but we do obviously do brand direct too.
Yeah, it might be worth us looking more closely in the world for music, movies, etc.
Yeah.
You'd know their name. But they acquire other pieces of software,
Yeah.
and in that they acquire new technologies and a team, and they were just finding that they could not deliver features or turn the ship fast enough. So they brought us in, 100-page report on all the things that could be made more efficient, and then that turned into.
Okay, kind of interesting day today. We had a couple inquiries, one from an luxury auto brand, and one from one of the largest pool builders in the country. And so, pretty interesting opportunities. Again, like a lot of times when we tell people we work with brands, obviously everyone wants to hear all like these huge ones, but actually these ones are actually huge. But again, just in industries that people don't think, right? Pools, obviously auto is different, but pools, huge. You know, like obviously. And so, anyway, that's what's up. Right now, Daniel's talking to a large automotive group, as well as I'm watching the Zuckerberg thing. Obviously, the speakerphone's on mute. And eating lunch. That's real. This guy just stopped by. We did a call with the large automotive group, but all right, let me see what's going home for a sec. Take care of. Looks like the sun came out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And boom, we're up on the site here for that conference that we will be on a panel on and hosting many of the folks that will be in town at a to be determined location shortly. I mean, I already know, but I just don't know if I'm supposed to say it out loud. Okay, that one 30,000 site deal just came back into play, so keep you updated. And I would say though that the past week I think has been kind of slower-ish, but again you'll see tomorrow a little bit busy. But basically I think a lot of people are on spring break with their families or kids and whatnot, but it seems like a bunch of people are getting back to work now on a Monday, Tuesday, and I bet you tomorrow it just goes nuts, but we'll see. Pretty flowers.
Hey,
Yeah, what up? Yeah, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. This weekend we have a wedding in Chicago. I totally forgot, so I gotta get some tuxedo gear. She wanted to join me. So nice of her, isn't it? Just yelled at me. Alright, we busted out a little shopping. Got some cologne, slacks, white dress shirt, bow tie, all ready for the wedding on Saturday. Alright, back at the house, eating dinner with the family, and tomorrow is my brother's birthday.